Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
I think we're
So
live.
it says that, and then I'm looking here, and it's like still says setting up. But who knows? Maybe we're live.
Yeah, I'm seeing live. So
Okay,
We're live.
cool.
looks like we're live.
All right, I'm gonna link it.
Yeah,
Send
get that tweet out.
Send it out, man. All right, guys, welcome. The Hangover Show. Thanks for joining me tonight. All hungover. Me. Are you guys hungover, or am I the only one that is hungover tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
Not
You're good.
anymore. Not anymore. I'm good now.
What did you do last night, Janice?
Same thing I'm doing right now. Same thing I do every night.
Yeah, this is an every like weekend thing. Like where like I'm pounding beers all weekend. That's what you do, or just tasting beers?
Not really.
I'm pounding them.
Yeah, I felt it was a special occasion, so yeah.
Nice.
Right now I'm pounding.
I switched over to whiskey. Trying to keep my figure right, but the drinking a 2 liter of pop with all the whiskey like totally threw the weight saving stuff right out the door. So Luke, brother, how you doing?
What's up? I'm doing great. You know, I was struggling for a little bit this morning, but I went out and made one final run at the liquor store to do a little more scouting at around noon. Interesting story about that. This one liquor store, for whatever reason, it's just down the road, always checks IDs regardless.
Uh-huh.
So I went to pay with my credit card, and the lady who recognizes me and checks my ID every single time was like, "Yeah, no, I still need your ID, Luke." And I was like, "We're on a first name basis now." Like, okay, all right, and
first base name.
yeah, that one too. I said that one also.
Wait till I start talking like that, because it will happen. I struggle when I'm not hungover and haven't killed half my brain speaking the English language. So this is going to be it's going to be interesting.
So we're good.
Yeah. So now, okay. I guess the best thing to ask in a beer drinking show, and we do it in our podcast too, is what are you guys drinking on tonight? What do you got? Let's show off. Go ahead, Luke.
All right. I'm not going to show off the can because I might potentially draft it.
Oh, okay.
So I will tease it by saying I am drinking a beer from Miskatonic Brewery in Darien. It's called West Coast Wizard. So
okay, this
right
is
up their alley.
I know exactly what it is. I got the blue can as the guy's. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you scouted them. You've seen them.
No, I've had that one like a year ago.
Yeah. So it's not too far away from me here. It's a great brewery. They make a lot of really good beers, but this is one of my favorite ones from them. And I figured it was appropriate because I don't know if you guys know this, but my sock Summer used to live on the West Coast. So
I did. I was a West Coaster for like.
He was also a Sterling, Illinois guy.
Yes.
And I'm drinking it out of my fancy mug here, and I got the new mystery sticker here. I don't know if you guys.
Nice. That's beautiful.
I heart 108 hats and black cats.
Yep, that's basically what it is. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly what it means. Yeah.
I did like when somebody said I thought it was Ethan Katz, and I was like, oh, that's really smart. Like that's good. Like, and the whole story behind the mystery sticker, the 108 day, we just donated the money today. We donated $8,000 to the Pilsen Food Pantry, Pilsen Food Pantry, not the Filson. And yeah, they got it, and they sent us a little message today, and I just can't imagine opening up your email and they're like, oh, we just got an $8,000 donation from somebody we've never heard of. We don't know who they are or what they did. And so she's like, the lady says, we got some pretty fancy, or I think she said fancy t-shirts for you guys. So look, all right, well, I guess we're gonna get some Pilsen things. So, but yeah, the mystery sticker is if you donated $5, we sent that out. It costs us about $1 for the shipping and all that stuff. So you donate $4 out of $5. I mean, that's just like pretty amazing. So that with all you guys donating, it got us right there. It's awesome. So yeah.
Hey, real quick, my sock Summer. The guy said that we should enable the chat.
Oh, it's not enabled?
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, there's I mean, I hope it's not, because then if it's not, nobody's saying anything.
Well, it's possible.
It should just be on the bottom. It says chat, I think.
Yep. Ooh, enable the chat though. Yeah, I'm seeing that on my end too.
You can see. Oh, okay.
He needs to enable the chat, and that's
Ah, man. See, now I got to go in here. Let's see. I know I talked to you guys about it, but I'm not the guy that does all the fun stuff on the computers.
My wife thought that that's another thing that if we'd have to be on the website to be able to enable.
in the settings.
Yeah, in the settings.
Here, let's switch off this.
Yeah, you got to enable the chat so My Sock Summer can reply later and tell Jimmy Vinicky to shut up or whatever happened.
He was funny. I mean, he was talking shit. Like, you can't talk shit and then not expect me to. Oh, here we go. All right, there's the delay. All right, shut that off. I'm on the website. Oh gosh. I don't see enable chat.
I mean, according to her, we'd have to close this and you'd have to reopen into a web browser and we'd have to restart the meeting.
Oh boy.
And then you'd have the options in there if we want to go that route.
Somehow last night it worked. And if Teresa's watching, maybe he can get this figured out. I don't know. Let's see. Golly. Oh, I am once again not the technical guy here. Oh man. So hey, what are you drinking, Jim? What do you got going?
Right at the moment, I mean, before this, I was drinking Half Acre Fader, which is just like a light lager. I had 5 of those. Then I moved on to another Half Acre Sailor Kush. And right now I'm drinking from Forbidden Root Radio Swan. I show this because I'm not going to draft this. Cool can, and it's a double dry hopped rye in IPA, which is cool. It's nice. It has a little bit of juiciness with the rye, like kind of spices to it. It's a good beer. It's really good. I like it. In my awesome IPA glass, which you can't even get anymore. I recommend it to a lot of people off of Amazon, and they don't. It's like not even on there anymore, which is a shame because it's an awesome glass.
But if you want an IPA glass, I'm sure you could Google IPA glass and find
I mean, there's a few different IPA glasses. I have like 3 or 4 specific IPA glasses, and I absolutely know how to pour a proper beer. And I'm sure Beef Loaf I think he knows how to do it too.
All right. So somebody just did it. Okay. So we got it going now. I don't think that was me. Thank you, Terezi. If that's what you did, I am proud of you, and you've made our show so much better. I probably should have dry ran that, but you know what? I've been sleeping the most of the day today, so that's where we're gonna go. Janice, what are you drinking?
I am drinking. I'm not going to be drafting this can, so I'm okay with showing it on camera. This is Mr. Shaky Mango by Maplewood. It is a milkshake IPA.
Oh yeah.
So it's got mango, vanilla, lactose. I made sure to pop a couple of lactades before the party tonight, so I'm okay. So I shouldn't be running off to the restroom. We're all good in that regard. At 7.5, which is a lot lighter than most of the beers that I typically like. So starting off with something a little mild.
Wait a second. 7.5 is light for you?
Yeah. I like them heavy. I like if it doesn't knock me flat on my ass, then I won't drink it.
Interesting. Now, how many beers do you usually have a night? Like something like that. If you're drinking like a 10% or you're drinking 11%, or how many are you having? 1, 2?
Oh man, like
4?
Probably three tops. 3? It all depends if I've got. There's like so many external variables. Like say, have I had enough water? Did I eat today? So today I did. I ate. I definitely was prepared today, so I've got a nice full stomach, able to handle some high ABVs. So I'm ready to roll. Definitely like grad school days. So.
That's awesome. Well, tonight I'm drinking a nice micro brew from the Pedialyte factory. I am drinking Pedialyte with ice right now, and then later I'll follow that up like with some water. So I got the Pedialyte and some water. So that's where we're gonna be.
Wow.
I mean, I really think you should be like just toughen it up and just like have a beer.
Listen, I in the 108
hair of the dog, man.
A lot of times I have to turn around and do a Sunday soak after a very long, very drinky Saturday, especially if it's a mid-afternoon game, early evening game. Like literally, I'll get home at midnight and I turn around and go back to Lowe's house at about 10 a.m. to start up the Sunday soak.
Okay,
And
but we got
plenty of
a
times.
snowstorm coming in, man.
Oh, I know. Well, what I'm saying is like I do it a lot, and today I just was like, I don't think you should do this. Like I know sometimes when I do a little bit of like to get something in my stomach and it starts doing the flips, like, oh, this is not good.
The bubble guts.
Yeah, I did I had a little bit of Sprite this morning, and that stayed in me for 3 or 4 minutes, and then it cleaned out my sinuses though because it was still carbonated when it came out, so it was perfect. Yeah, so I've taken a shower, and it's not like we're in the same room or anything, so you can't like. I mean, I'm fresh, so we're good.
Did you do a White
That's
Sox
good.
Dave shower nap?
Yeah, that's awesome, right? He's got some funny stuff that he does, right? Oh, shower naps are the best.
What is a shower nap?
He will pass out in the shower.
In the shower
when he's been drinking.
Sounds safe.
Yeah.
What about
more safe?
What about when the hot water runs out?
Well, that's what your wake up call. That's when you wake up. Like that means you've taken a long enough shower or a shower nap. You've had a long enough nap.
You're gonna run up that gas bill though.
Now we're all nerdy. We're all beer nerds ish, right? I separate those two because I think we're probably nerds too.
Yeah, definitely.
The why we're doing this is because it came about. I want to say Luke said something about it on Twitter. And Luke, do you want to give us the full story on how this is going down? Why this is happening?
Yeah. So I tagged Janice and Jim, I think, in a picture on Twitter of a Hot Butcher beer, Tavern Cut.
Yeah.
And Janice replied and said, that is an amazing picture or beer art. And I said, oh, we should do a draft.
Yeah.
And I think Janice tagged the 108, and then you chimed in and Jim chimed in, and we're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So that was, and I know I gave you guys like an options on dates, and I said that for this date, I'm like, I will potentially be very hungover on this date. And you guys said, yes, we should definitely do it that day then, because that would be a good time. So thank you for making me have to exist again today. But yeah, no, and Chirizi threw it over to me, was like, we'll have him do it because he does more beer stuff. And I think that's pretty true. I used to be real big into the scene and have kind of like calmed down a lot. Like when you have two kids, it was fun the first time I took my first daughter to Three Floyds and had her in the strap, and then I was carrying 2 cases of beer in front of me with her. That was fun, just because you're like I want to do this to show people that I'm still going to be, the drinker and everything, even with a kid. So it was very interesting. That's very fun. Now, what? Okay, I got into craft. How did you get into craft beer, Jim?
Okay, so I was telling Luke about this yesterday, and my wife's uncle likes to take credit because years ago I went out with him to a what do you call it? Whirly ball. Whirly ball?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was drinking like Coors Light at the time, fresh out of college, whatever. And he gave me a Victory Hop Devil. And it's like, I've never had any craft beer, and that's a hoppy beer, And I was like, oh, this is terrible, And so, I mean, I drank it, but it like took forever. And I was like, it's not really for me. And like, fast forward a couple years when we first got an apartment, I started getting into Sam Adams. They had a lot of variety packs, so I was getting bored with my beers, so I wanted to try some different things, and like it started there and then it just progressed. Kept trying new things like on my own. So like now every time like he sees me, I go to his place and grab one of his craft beers. He's like, oh, he's drinking this 10 years ago. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever,
Yeah. Janice, how did you get into it?
Oh man, so it's been a long time actually, but probably now that I recall, the earliest I probably started drinking craft beer, maybe 10 plus years ago. I worked at the Apple store in the Skokie Mall, Old Orchard Mall, and there used to be a bar that was like steps away from the Apple store. So like after a long day of being screamed at by people asking for my manager and, just complaining about how I couldn't fix their shit or couldn't remember their passwords, of course you want to wind down and, have a beverage. So this bar was called Champs with 2 P's, which I still have no idea why they spelled it this way to this day. I used to call it Champus. Yeah, I have no fucking clue why they called it Champs. But anyway, I would go to this bar. Typically, most of my coworkers would order Blue Moons. I would too. And then one of the bartenders was like, hey, we got some new stuff from this up-and-coming craft brewery in Chicago called Revolution. Do you want to try some? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. So I honestly can't even remember what beer I had. It might have been Anti-Hero, maybe. I know that's like one of their flagship beers. But after that, I was like, I think I'm done with Blue Moon. I'm done with Coors Light. I'm done with all that other stuff. So yeah, after that, it was all just kind of explore and try as much new stuff as I possibly can.
That's awesome. Luke.
So,
let's hear it.
I was thinking about this a little bit today. And then when Jim mentioned it yesterday, I think I first got into craft beer after my brother's college graduation party. So he graduated from Winona State up in Minnesota. And the after party was along I think it was the Winona River. I don't really know. Whatever river is there. And,
it would make sense, right? Winona, yeah.
So they got a keg of Surly Furious for their after party, after the graduation, him and all his friends from college. And that was my first remembrance of having like craft beer and not like thinking anything of it. I'm like, oh, there's a keg of beer. I'm going to go drink the beer that's on tap here. And those first few sips, I was like, well, fuck, this is different and this is delicious. Like this is nothing I've ever had before. Like, wow. And drank a shit ton of them that day. And I think I was asleep at about 4:30 or 5 o'clock for the night.
Yep.
And the next day though, I felt fine because I was not 36 years old. I was in my 20s and, doesn't have any of that hampering on it. And I was like, asking my brother, like, what the hell was that beer? That was incredible. So then he was talking to me about it. And my dad and my brother both did some home brewing for a little while. And anytime we're all home together, it was kind of like, all right, I'm going to try all these other craft beers. So I was like really early on, like basic shit now, like Sierra Nevada, Lagunitas. Fun fact about Lagunitas, I've actually been to both tap rooms, the one in California and Chicago.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
So can you get into a little bit about the home brewing? That's like one thing I've always like wished I could like start doing and like have the time. Like how did that go? Like and how about the process of it?
So I was the terrible, awful assistant, younger brother and son of the home brewing, and they would just ask me to get up off the couch and help them carry shit everywhere. And I would be like, no, I want to lay on the couch right now. And it would stink up the whole fucking house. And it was so bad. But
so you didn't do anything.
No, I didn't do shit. I was just there for the fun. I was there for the fun. And the 3 weeks later, after the beer was finally ready, and I was like, what's taking so damn long? Why can't we drink this beer? So I do have some friends still that do a lot of home brewing today. So, I mean, it's still a cool thing that I'm intrigued by. I just, there's so much involved with it. It's like, it's a lot of work. So.
It is a lot of work. And then when you can go out and buy something for not that expensive and it doesn't take your time, it makes it a lot easier. That's for sure. So I got crack 'em. So I got I was out in the West Coast. I don't know if you guys know, but I used to live on the West Coast. I used to live in
Yeah,
Huntington Beach.
I think everybody knows.
And there's like a lot of craft breweries out there, right? And I only drank Bud Light. Like that's all I ever drank. I did not drink anything. I would have a Guinness here and there. And this was up until 2010. And my exposure after I came back to Illinois, my buddy Duff, who actually works for Revolution now, he didn't then, but he's from Dixon. He was a big beer guy.
Ronald Reagan was from Dixon.
Yep.
In case nobody knows.
So he had this he had like a big collection. He would share beers. He would get me, he would just be like, you gotta try this. And like he's like, what kind of beer do you like? I was like, well, I'm like a Bud Light guy. So like he's like, well, you should try this. And then he started giving me some hoppy stuff. And then he gave me a stout. And in my convoluted brain and mind, I did not realize that a Guinness stout is a style. So I'm like, well, you like stouts. So you could have been drinking all of these other kind of stouts that like for years, because you knew you like stout. And I never did anything out west. Like, so I never had any good beers out there or anything. But then I came back and went and saw, I went to Ribco, which is Rock Island Brewing Company. And they have a very massive list of stuff. Watch the Smoking Popes play. And I asked the guy, I go, hey, do you have any like stouts? And he goes, I got a coffee stout. And it was Founder's Breakfast Stout. So I had that. And that after the second one, and it's on Facebook because I'll see it every year, you know, in my memories. And it's like after the second one, I felt my ears prick up and I was like, okay, I can't have any more of these because I won't be able to drive home. So, and it's like about an hour away from Sterling, from the mean streets of Sterling. Jim knows that too. But yeah, it was like, that was my introduction. And then I bought a case of Founder's Breakfast Stout for my dad and I, because he was into it too. And that snowballed that. Then we'd go up to New Glarus. And New Glarus is like great. I always think that New Glarus, other than the fruit, their beers are like the most middle, I don't use it in a bad word, but middle of the road as far as tastes, right? Like it's not definitely overly this or underly this. It's a good representation of the style of whatever they're brewing.
You know, they have a good business plan because they stay in Wisconsin. Right. So when people go there, they think they like, oh, I got to get that New Glarus. I got to get the Spotted Cow. Although like ones like Moon Man and like
Two Women.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like those ones are much better, but everyone, for whatever reason, like they feel like they have to get it.
Yeah, I hate Oktoberfest beers. I don't know. I think that's pretty out there. Like
a little bit.
And I can't, like their Staghorn or whatever. I hated it. But they're like Road Slush. I think it's like I think it's a porter or is it a stout?
I'm pretty sure it's a porter. Yeah.
Unbelievably good. Like, but not like the best porter I've ever had. Right. Like the Moon Man, a solid. I like a little IPA, you know, but it's nothing like Three Floyds, you know. Right. It's just a nice introduction. Like you're like, okay, this has still got the training wheels on it and I can take it around. And then like when you start getting into the Three Floyds and the Surly, like that's like you're just going out there. I went to 2010 Soundset, which was out in Minneapolis. Atmosphere puts this big huge concert on, and they usually get like Atmosphere is a rap group from Minneapolis, and they put on this huge show. Z-Trip did an after party at First Avenue. I don't know if you guys know Z-Trip. He's like the godfather of the mashups, like just unbelievable. Like he cuts records together. I mean, it's something you should look into. It's good stuff. But I was at this bar waiting to go to the Soundset in Minneapolis. We were at Brits, and everyone was ordering this beer, and I'm drinking a Guinness because I'm basic, and I'm drinking it, and I see these beers just go flying by. And I'm like, Jesus, Phil, my brother-in-law, I go, we need to get whatever that beer is because everyone's drinking it. And the guy's like, just the bartender, without even hesitate, just puts a sample, puts it right in front of me. I taste it. It's surly furious. And it just tastes like a grapefruit exploded in my mouth. And I'm like, I love this. This is great. So same deal. Drank a ton, went out with a friend and her husband, and was on the floor almost immediately after dinner because I didn't know how to drink a 7.5%, 8% beer when you're used to drinking 3.5%, 4%. So, that's my long convoluted way of saying how I got into craft beer. Now we'll go around here. We'll start with Jim. What's your favorite brewery, Jim?
Man, I mean, that's a really, like, when you put that on us, that's a really hard question to answer. And I'm just gonna go. I mean, there's some that like aren't necessarily like craft, local breweries anymore, and like a couple that I've just really liked more recently. One of my favorite ones recently is Hailstorm down in Tinley Park. I mean, they got some really good stuff. Every beer I've had from them has just been fantastic. I mean, I've always liked Revolution. Everything from them has been good. And the bigger one, I guess, is Lagunitas, even though they're a bigger, national brand, everything is just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, but otherwise I'm just always trying different beers, different breweries, just nonstop.
That's awesome. Janice, who's your favorite?
Kind of echoing Jim's sentiment. It's really hard to choose just one. But I mean, I really appreciate breweries that are always trying to innovate and like just trying to push the envelope and do new experimental things all the time. And so some of you may not know this about me, but I lived in Wisconsin for a good chunk of time. One brewery that does a lot of experimental stuff is Mobcraft. And their business model is really interesting, where you pretty much anyone can submit an idea, some sort of recipe to this brewery, and they might even make it for you. So if there's enough kind of buzz around this idea, then you might actually see your name on the tap board or even on a can. So they came out with a really interesting grasshopper stout not too long ago, kind of like a mint chocolate stout that I really liked. But seeing as how this is a Chicago-based show, I got to pick a Chicago-based brewery to love too. I want to say that right now, Mars is probably one of my favorite Chicago area breweries right now.
Yep. Always
trying new things. They're always innovating.
Real close to the park.
Yeah, real close to the park. Great pregame spot before a Sox game. Also, too, just really friendly people as well. I love the restaurant that's attached to Mars. Mom's, really fantastic spam musubi. If you ever get a chance to try that. But those are my two favorite breweries right now.
Okay, Luke.
Awesome. So when you said we're going to discuss our favorite breweries, it's funny you said that because I tried to do like a power ranking system for me with my current favorite breweries, and it tends to rotate a little bit at a time. Non-local, my favorite place up in this lovely state of Pure Michigan is a place in Grand Haven called Grand Armory. They make some amazing stuff. They've got a great system, kind of like I like to right now think of Grand Armory as the New Glarus of Michigan, because they only distribute in the state of Michigan.
Okay.
And they make some incredible beers. But my power rankings obviously are only local. So my number one power ranking brewery right now is Hop Butcher.
Yeah.
Hop Butcher for the world. They don't have a tap room. They just have a brew house that they share with Miskatonic, which is what I'm drinking again, the West Coast Wizard. And they just crush. And every week they have different released beers. They do a lot of hazies with a whole bunch of different hops and flavors. And I haven't found a bad beer from them. I like everything they make. It's incredible. And I didn't realize this until I really started digging into Hop Butcher a little more. They used to be South Loop Brewing Company back in the day.
Huh.
And then there was a lawsuit, and they had to change their name. They rebranded. They moved to Darien with Miskatonic. The South Loop Brewing Company, you guys might recognize because they were the ones that made the Good Guys Wear Black rye black IPA that would be sold at Sox games in the ballpark.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
So that's the Hop Butcher guys.
Man, that sounds never saw that one. Obviously, that sounds friggin' amazing.
Yeah, they're crushing it right now. There's some critics to them, but there's critics everywhere for everything. So it's whatever. It's my favorite brewery.
Totally agreed. Yeah, Hot Butcher is like killing it right now. I don't think I've ever had a bad beer from them or one that I didn't like.
They're another one that, I mean, their business plan is fantastic. I mean, they come out like usually on Thursdays and everybody knows it. They, it's a small distribution, so everybody knows like to go get it. You grab it, it's gone within a couple days, and that's it. So it's it's kind of like a cult, kind of following. Yeah. I went to Binny's it's technically Wheeling, but like Buffalo Grove today, and they still had like 3 stacks of the Hot Butchers, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I've been buying so much of this for beer for this today, and I was like, I can't, and it's like, I'm gonna have to maybe make a trip back and like see if they still have some of them.
You're absolutely right on that marketing, because I remember I would go to my local Binny's here in Evanston, and I just saw that they had like one 4-pack left of numerous different things, which is just a lovely, just like raspberry graham cracker milkshake IPA, and it was still cold. So like maybe the delivery might have happened about an hour ago, and so the beer dude at Benny's was like, "Hey, you should get that last 4-pack," and I'm like, "Yes, I think I will. Thank you."
Yeah, that's how I stumbled upon them too. I know when they started, they used to have stuff in the craft cave. I think they probably still do or still will. And I remember one of my buddies, Scotty, just saying, do you know what they're going to have? Do you know what they're going to have in there? And I was like, I don't know. No, I don't even know who this is. And then I just started seeing it, and I would pick something up, if it sounded good.
Oh my God, so, your background.
Craft cave. There you go.
I had, see how I had that ready to go.
Can I share a hilarious craft cave story from the 2019 season when
of
they were
course
in the stand? Okay. So there was a game, there was a massive rain delay. It was
no way.
It was a Sunday game versus the Twins right before Dylan Cease's debut and all that. So the craft cave got bombed with people. So me and my buddies are standing in line for the
Jose Abreu bobblehead day too.
The same week. It was the same week.
I thought it was the same day because it was a doubleheader. The Cease started the second game.
So the Cease doubleheader was like whatever, that Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
The
Jose Abreu was the first game. Or first game, I think they gave it away.
Yeah, but the rain delay game was the Sunday before.
Oh, okay.
So I was in the craft cave with my buddies. We got in line, and they were slammed. And I went to the first fridge. I was like, oh, I like this one. So I cracked it open because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy this beer and pay for it anyways. The line was moving so slow that by the time I got to the end of the craft cave, I got another beer from a different selection. So I had 2 beers, paid for them both, of course. And that's just my hilarious random story about the craft cave.
That's good. Now, my favorite brewery, I'm contractually obligated to say Goose Island. So that's my favorite brewery. No, I love Goose. And I think that Goose Island, and I really do like them. I love Baderbrow too, but they're no longer around. So we drank them out of business. But the Goose Island guys have made such strides in what they've released recently to kind of like take on to a different level. I feel like it's not a high-end craft beer, and that's just not what it is. It's not a Three Floyds, it's not a Hot Butcher. It's a beer, and I felt Baderbrow was kind of the same way. They were giving you a little bit of flavor, a little bit of this to kind of ease people into a craft beer situation and start drinking something more local versus drinking a Budweiser. Like if you're going to drink a Budweiser, you might as well drink a Pilsner, from Baderbrow or whatever, when they had the Chicago Pilsner. But like, yeah, I really do like Goose stuff because it's very, as Baderbrow was said too, very crushable. Like you can sit there and drink a few more of them. So I although I have to say it contractually, it's honestly believe it.
So
one of my favorite
you
breweries.
want a funny story is I really wanted to hunt down some Sox Golden Ale today.
Mhm.
And I went to 2 Binnies and they were all out. And even the one down the road, they usually have a huge stack of it. And they were all completely out. And I was really looking forward. I was going to crack open a Goose Island Golden Ale. And that would have been a perfect time that you just brought that up. And it just friggin' failed.
It's okay.
They
It's
knew you were
okay.
coming, Jim. They knew. They're like, oh shit, he's coming. But
Yeah, because he knows what I feel about Goose Island.
Yeah, and I mean, we had a discussion
Yeah.
on Twitter, and I think I just kind of reiterated what I said there. It's like,
Exactly.
it doesn't have to be top end every time. And,
Yes, it
and
does.
It's like, it doesn't. And there's certain beers in different times, right? Like
Yeah.
there's definitely a time to sit down. Like tonight, I was going to drink some stuff if I wasn't hungover. Matt Berkland gave it to me, and it's a brewery out of Cincinnati. He gave me 2 coffee stouts that they just brewed, and I have it right behind me, and I just fuck. Anyway,
Crack it open. Come on.
no,
Ryan Geist. You're thinking of
Ryan
Ryan
Geist.
Geist.
Yes. And
Okay.
yeah, so he gave me these 2 bottles, and I was gonna drink one tonight because it's a 13% too, and I was like, I'll just drink.
I mean, you could.
I could.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
If
The
you-
Pedialyte's still making my stomach funny.
If you were a
so
man,
it's
you would.
Pedialyte.
I don't know.
It's not cool and tough. I
Hey,
know I put
crack
down
'em.
on here the favorite tap house, and if you guys want to do that, you want to say what your favorite tap house is?
That's fine
Yeah,
for me.
Okay. When I
I'll
was
start.
working, oh no, I'm gonna start. And we're gonna
okay.
go back around the other
Jesus,
way.
Sorry,
We're
fuck.
gonna learn it all out here, okay? You get bigger and you get your own show, okay, Jim? That's how it is. You say crack them on my fucking show, you're gonna be put in your place. All right. No, my favorite when I was working, I would go to Monk's a lot, which is downtown in the Loop, and that was something where I would go a lot because they just had a ton of different stuff, and it was real quick. Luke, favorite tap
I totally
house?
forgot what the order was. You're like, yeah, I'm going to go back in the other order. I had no idea what the order was from the time
It's
before.
you.
So I'm up. The tap room is no longer in existence. Is my favorite tap house, and this is a wild tap house. Brixie's in Brookfield. If anybody's ever heard of it, it's not a tap house, except it's a tap house like when nobody goes in during the day. But it used to be a 4 a.m. bar. So like you get people in there at night and it's the tap house name is done. It's dead. It's just a 4 a.m. bar all of a sudden. But like you go in between like noon or whenever they open until 8 o'clock at night, and they had like 35 plus rotating beers on draft. It's no longer open. It's closed because the owner of Brixie's also owns Imperial Oak in Willow Springs. So Imperial Oak Brewing is taking Brixie's and making it their second location. So the tap house and Imperial Oak all kind of coming together. It just was an amazing spot to just go and have a couple of really good beers because they had anything and everything on tap that you wanted. They knew what they were talking about. They could help you with what you wanted to try, but Brixie's is dead. It's going to turn into a brewery. So,
Man.
or a second Imperial Oak brewing location. So
A lot of sad stories so far tonight. Poor Baderbrow, now Brixie's. Fuck. Janice, what are you going to do to make us sad too?
I've also got another Requiem over here, a fallen tap room. So definitely gonna pour one out for one of my favorite bars. Actually, like the only bar in Evanston. So I've only lived here for about a little over 2 years now. So I really didn't know much about Evanston or its history, but apparently, it's been dry for quite a while, up until like maybe I want to say the 70s. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that date up, but all I know is that Evanston used to be like incredibly dry. So since then, Evanston now has a couple of really great up and coming breweries. They've got Temperance, they've got Sketchbook, they've got Smiley Brothers, all fantastic breweries.
Yeah, those ones are all really good.
Yep. But weirdly enough, they really don't have any bars. So I haven't like really looked into any of the local laws around here, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, if you're serving alcohol, like you also have to serve food in some capacity there. So yeah, there used to be this bar in downtown Evanston called the Evanston Pub. And so it was rebranded. It used to be a World of Beer. But yeah, essentially they just had a really great, just myriad of fantastic styles. They had local stuff on draft, local stuff on cans. They also used to do a really fantastic karaoke night on Mondays. So you see a lot of the Northwestern theater kids kind of getting in there and getting down. So otherwise, like, yeah, it was probably perhaps one of the best bars I've been to in quite a while. And now it's gone. And so I'm kind of sad about that.
Wow.
So yeah, gonna pour one out for the Evanston Pub, Evanston's only bar, and now it's gone. What the fuck, man?
And theater kids like to party. I used to party with a lot of theater kids at NIU. So
yeah,
they definitely, they like to get down. Now,
and so I know that one of the unwritten rules of karaoke is that, like, you shouldn't do karaoke if you actually know how to sing, because you end up looking like a total asshole. But no, like that's not the case here. It's just that, like, everyone knows how to put on such a good show that you don't even give a shit about someone who can sing good on stage. Like, just as long as a performance makes you feel good, it doesn't matter if you're singing shittily or singing very well. So yeah, some of the best karaoke performances I've seen, like, all time, happened at Evanston Pub. So
nice.
Yeah, a little bit of a gonna mourn Evanston Pub for a little bit.
Jim, what do you got?
So, I mean, for me, it's really tough up here in these northwestern suburbs. For about 4 or 5 years, I was in Buffalo Grove, and they don't have like shit for like bars or anything to go to. And then we moved to Arlington Heights, like at the end of 2019, like right before COVID. And Arlington Heights, like, has a really nice downtown scene, but like we never really had a chance to like go check it out. So that's like a total bummer. The only place I can think of is in Buffalo Grove. It used to be called Prairie Crafts Brewing, and then they got bought out. And Janice, this is the one like you made me aware of. They got bought out by oh my God, what's it called?
What, microphone?
Loving. What's it called?
Liquid Love.
Liquid Love. There you go. Like, and I went in there, and it was the same guy like working there. It's a really tiny place. Same guy that was working there before. Really nice guy. And he's like, lets me sample. They have so many different things to sample. And even before, I was just really happy to see that he got to keep his job, So I went there, I sampled like 5 beers. He would have just like kept giving them to me, It's like, okay, like that's enough. I'll buy one, I'll go. But like that one's a really cool place. But, after all this is when we can actually go places again, I'm really looking forward to like checking out Arlington Heights, like downtown scene.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I actually forgot my local place that I probably should have brought up. And me and Loaf would go hang over there a lot. And it's Maria's, which is just right up the street.
Nice.
It's almost a little over. Used to be like kind of like too much. Like they got a lot of publicity, like a lot. And then they got bigger, but they still had great beers. They have these good pours and good cocktails. So next, this is good. Oh, see, Jim? Well, I was coming right to you, dude. And now Jim just left. So he's screwing up the order. All right. This is going to be another hard one. That's a very hard call. Favorite beer of all time. What do we got? Janice.
Oh man. So as you all know, I'm a stout lover. I love dark beers. I love stouts. I love porters too. But I do want to say that one beer that I have been thinking about consistently ever since I had it. So I used to live in Austin, Texas too. So Texas has its own kind of like isolated, like really cool beer scene too. And actually when I lived in Austin, that's where I got really into craft beer, just mainly because you'd see these tiny little microbreweries popping up in the industrial areas, right? So you'd see like, say, like in this building over here, they're like welding or some bullshit. And then in the next area over, they're making craft beer. That's so cool. So one beer that I tried while I was down there was from a brewery in San Antonio, actually, called Ranger Creek. and they make a really fantastic strawberry milk stout. And so how they make it is that they take the harvest of strawberries from this town in Texas called Poteet. And apparently every year, like the bounty is just so incredibly just large and delicious. And I don't know about y'all, but I love strawberries. So they take all these like big, juicy, ripe, maybe GMO strawberries, put them in this beer, and then they add some lactose into it. And especially on draft, like, oh my God, it's just so delicious. And I think when I finally moved back to the Midwest, I bought, I think I bought like a 6-pack of this beer to take back home. I should have bought more in retrospect, but like, anyway.
You're like, I'll be back. You know, I'll go back at some point.
Yeah. So
you go see my friends, and then you never go back ever again.
That's exactly what happened. But yeah. Long story short, the bottle's actually broke in my my U-Haul. So it's kind of another sad story there. But I think I'm gonna have to time when the next strawberry festival happens and go back to San Antonio for that beer.
There you go, Jim. You were gonna go first. Favorite beer?
Oh, okay.
But you got up and left.
Yeah, sorry. I had to go.
Not staying with the program.
I've been drinking since about 2:00. I mean,
I know. I'm proud of you.
I didn't sleep all day. Like
yeah, I know.
Okay, so mine actually, I don't know if you guys would be disappointed in this one. It's going to be like it's a Lagunitas, the Waldo Special.
That's good.
It's my favorite beer. I love how it's so strong. I really like a boozy kind of beer. It has that fruity sense to it, and it comes out like at the April 20th, 420.
Yep.
And I love it. It's usually about like 10% alcohol, and you get a 6-pack of bottles for usually $9.99 at Binny's. And I'm really like looking forward. I got just a few more months to go,
What Jim, do you get into barley wines at all?
I barley wines are probably my second favorite kind of beer.
Because they're real hot too, and a lot of alcohol, and a lot of alcohol forward, and then the fruit. So that's why I was like, man, you got to probably be into this shit.
Yeah,
I don't particularly care for them, but they're okay. If that's
I like them. They're hard to like come by. It's not a popular style, but when they had the Sierra Nevada one, the Bigfoot. And it's the same thing. It's like $10 for a 6-pack, and they're only like $10, and they're really strong. They're good, and it's just because they're not as popular,
Yeah, no, Lagunitas keeps the price down on a lot of their stuff, which is good. It's nice, and it's easily attainable. Like you're not waiting in line, and you don't have to like seek it out. Like it's always there, and it's consistent. So
I've never had a Lagunitas beer that I didn't like.
Yeah, well, that's batting 1,000. That's awesome.
It sucks because they're a bigger brand, but man, they make good stuff.
There's nothing wrong with being a big brand, Jim. All right, Luke, what's your favorite?
Crack 'em.
So this is such a difficult question, as mentioned already. My favorite typically is whatever one I'm currently drinking. That's usually my
whoever
go-to.
plays the Cubs. Yep. All right, got it.
And the problem with that is I always tell people, oh, you got to try this one. Oh, this is so good. This is my favorite beer. And like every time I will say, this is one of my favorite beers. This is my favorite beer. And people are like, well, which one is, did you say that all the time?
Yeah.
So, but if I had to narrow it down, Bell's Two Hearted is a goddamn good beer.
Oh man, look at you. It is a good beer, and it's consistent. Yeah, it's consistent, and it's there. Like I mean, it's hard to go against some of these things. And Jim, same thing with you. Like you picked a brand like beer, but it's consistent, and like that's what your favorite beer to me. That's what it should be. I have from a local place back in the Quad Cities, Bent River, their Jingle Java, and it's a yearly release, and it's like a toffee stout coffee. And what else is in there? Like I think there's like some spices, some lactose and whatnot too. But it's very good, and it's only available once a year. But it changes every year. It's either a good year or a bad year. Like they have different years with different coffees they use, and just how they brew it. It can be different. So when you get it the first time, people are always like, okay, well, it's been a good year, so you can buy more, or it's a bad year, don't buy too much. But that's probably one of my favorite beers. And the label is horrible. It's like Santa Claus, like sitting with a beer. Like it's not even like drawn out. It's like a picture. It's just, ugh. And they don't have, Bent River does not have good labels, but they have great beers. So I really like that one. Now, this is another fun one. And Luke, we're going to start with you. Actually, we're going to start with me. Do you consider yourself a beer snob? And yes or no, and why and why not? And I do, to a certain extent, especially when it comes to IPAs. I do not want to drink an IPA that has been sitting on a shelf. I do not want to drink an IPA that is not fresh. Like I have to have it either on tap, and I have to know how old it is. Right. Like it has to be like, that's the one thing that bothers me.
Because they don't age well.
No, it drops off considerably. Like there's a few like Revolution Anti-Hero will stay good for a pretty good amount of time, and Founders All Day IPA stays good for a pretty good amount of time. But don't want to drink, some craft that's been sitting on a damn shelf and it's not been cold. Like it can't be, as far as IPA, I just can't do it. And that's my one snobby thing that I do about beer. I'll drink anything. I drink High Life. I drink light. I don't drink Budweiser, and I don't drink Bud Light anymore, which is funny because I used to drink it so much. But like my tastes have refined a little bit. But like, yeah, that's the one thing. Like I just can't drink old IPAs. It drives me nuts. And the boys in the 108 will tell you that. I'll always be like, oh, this is horrible. This is old. Like I can't drink that. And that's my biggest complaint with the Craft Cave, is I think they carry too many IPAs, and they are always old by the time you get them. And it's just, I know they were going to make improvements for last year, because I had talked to him about that. Joey's the guy that does it. He's like, we're going to start specialing off beer. And they started at the end of 2019. They started doing like $5, bottles or $5 cans just to get the stuff out. Because I would talk to TJ from Goose Island and be like, dude, I want to try this. I want to drink this, but I know it's not fresh, so I'm not going to get it. Like, and I'd get something that's 3 months expired, because they order it like it's a macro, and then they let it sit and they try to go through it all year versus ordering in shipments. So like, I think they're going to get it right now. I'm hoping they'll get it right. But yeah, that's my big thing. Luke, are you a snob?
So
I think
I knew this question was coming, and the way I looked at it is, you never want to, at least my outlook on life is, don't ever forget about where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I started out drinking beer. I was drinking Busch Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, and I still, to this day, will go and buy some good, cheap, classic beer. Like whatever is the go-to. Lately, my best go-to, I love going and getting a 6-pack of Ham's Tall Boys. And
those are good, man. Those are real good quality.
It's $5 for
I know,
6-pack
right?
of Ham's Tall Boys. How the hell can you beat that? I mean, come on.
Which is wait, it's 3, 6. It's actually like 8 beers.
Yeah, it's a steal. So I love channeling those classic go-to beers. I would agree with you with that IPA idea, though. Like when I go to the store and I'm looking at IPAs, I'm checking the cans for the dates.
Mm-hmm.
Usually if it's like 3 months, like you said, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is still good. But my favorite, when you talk about that, is when you go and like, I get really excited when I go to buy Hot Butcher at Binny's, and it's like, this was canned yesterday.
Yeah. And it's cold. Janice said it right. Yeah. When it's cold and it's sitting there, you're like, okay. So, I think I can buy this.
Yeah.
Janice, snobby, not snobby?
I think I am sometimes, but I don't think I am others. Yeah, like most of y'all, I started off just like drinking absolutely everything and anything. I think the first beer I bought as soon as I turned 21 was a Bud Light, just mainly because like I didn't give a shit. And so I drank that beer and I thought it was delicious. And I'm sure like if I drank it again, I haven't had a Bud Light in so long, but it would probably remember or just kind of bring back those college memories, right? And you can't really, put a price on that. But I do have to say that my mom, who is a lightweight drinker, she'll literally take a sip out of anything I'm drinking, and then she'll be like, "I'm done. Like this is it. Like I'm drunk as hell." And I'm like, "Okay, Mom." She just recently discovered that she really loves Modelo. So I love Modelo, especially at White Sox games. That's usually my drink of choice if I don't want to do like the 20-minute walk to the craft cave. I'll just usually just like grab a Modelo and just be done with it. So that's like one beer that I can drink with my mom. She'll actually finish the entire thing. Like she's not going to take one sip and be like, "Oh, I'm done with this. You can drink the rest." So my mom is sitting there, the sober one, and I'm like drunk as hell. So that's never a good time. Yeah, that's never a good time. I mean, there are some times where I can be snobby. So like you, my Sock Summer, if I see an old IPA, I'm just be like, no, I can't do this. I mean, generally, I'm kind of known to be an IPA hater generally, but I mean, there are some that I do like. There are some that I think are tolerable.
Okay. All right. We'll get more into that in a minute. Jim.
Okay.
Are you a snob? I think 100% you're a snob.
I mean, yeah, like
you just said how good Hams is. Tall Boy Hams, and you give me shit about Goose Island? What the fuck?
No,
I mean, my God.
It's good for like, the cheap shit,
Yeah.
But
understandable. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen you say about the freshness and shit. Like I thought I was a snob, but like Jesus Christ. So I just bought the other day this half-acre Sailor's Kush, and this was canned 9/22 of last year. And this tastes friggin' delicious. Like I remember it coming out and I was like, okay, I never got a chance to try it. And this was it. I mean, I don't know how it could taste much better than it did right now.
Do you like malts? Are you malty? Do you like a malty flavor?
I like malt. I like caramely. I like hoppy. I mean, any kind of IPA. That's my number one go-to. I do like a caramely kind of IPA.
Because that's something that happens, and that's what I taste. The malt will start being overwhelming, and it overwhelms the actual hop flavor to me. So like and then it's just like, oh, I can't. And like Loaf will drink anything. Chorizo will drink anything. I mean, so they're really not like, they're like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. But like I just like, I guess
to me, if it's this is an 8% like ABV beer. Like to me, if it's a stronger beer, it typically holds up a little better, So this is what 9/22. Yeah, I mean, I gave it a shot, and I'm glad I did.
Good.
So I'm not afraid to like try some old
shelf IPA,
skanky beer. Like, because I went to IKEA, right? And I was like, oh, there's a liquor store. Let me go see what they have. I was like, oh, I missed this one. Yeah, it's not that old. It's okay. I'll try that one.
As I say, you're not buying beer at IKEA though, right?
Well, I mean, maybe
Swedish meatball beer, or like what do they have there? Like,
I was about to say, do they have a tap room at IKEA?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but
I'd be all over that if they did, man.
Man, I wonder how parents are now with IKEA, because you used to be able to drop your kids off and just let them roll. They could just run around, and like now COVID, like I'm sure that doesn't happen. I'm not sure.
It's such a gigantic. See, this one I'm having is November 2002. I mean, it tastes good to me, man. Well,
I mean, that's not that old, and if it's been cold the whole time, it's potentially okay. That's my one little.
It wasn't cold. I got it on the racks at Benny's. Man, it tastes good to me, and so I.
Well, good.
I mean, I thought I was a beer snob, but when I listened to you friggin' talk about this and Goose Island, I don't know, man.
So.
Crack 'em.
We're here for a beer can art draft. Okay. And here's the rules. And this is how we're going to do it. We're doing 5 rounds. So 20 beers will get picked. 20 labels will get picked. We're going to try this whole share our screen thing. We're going to see how that goes. Okay. And we'll see how this works. I'm not technically advanced in any form or fashion. So we'll see what happens. Now, the rules are, You have to have had to drink the beer. Like you can't just pick some label that you like. It has to be something you've had before, because this is a lot of these rules I put in just because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to like think and go way outside of my realm. Like I'm like, I want to keep something simple and like, listen, my time between the two girls is so mortgaged. Like I don't have any time. So it's like, I have to pick times to do this. And it's like, I can set this up in 2 hours, like on a Wednesday during their naps. Like, and that's what I did. I picked everything and I ironed it all out. So that's the one thing. You have to have had the beer. Once a brewery has been picked, it is dead. Now, if it's a collaboration beer, the person that picks the collaboration beer can pick which brewery they want. So if it is a collaboration between Surly and Metropolis, you can decide who you want, or or whatever. And I just said Metropolis, even though it's a coffee place. No big deal. It's everybody gets what I'm saying. So you can decide who that is, who it comes from. But once the brewery is picked, it is done, is over. Only one selection per brewery, obviously, and that's it. So it's a snake draft. We have not decided the order. Now, I will go first unless somebody else really wants to go first.
I don't know, man.
I'm okay with you going first. Yeah.
And then, because like on my screen then, and this is how I would say we should do it. Take me, and I got Luke directly to my left, Janice, and then Jim with
What
the
the
turnaround.
fuck?
You get the turnaround.
That's a great spot.
Or Jim, we can flip it and you go first and I'll do the turnaround. You want to go first, Jim?
I would love to go first because
okay,
I
so we're gonna go
got my
Jim,
number one.
Jim, Janice, Luke, me. Okay. So that's I think that's actually, no, it's not alphabetical. It's close though. All right. Well, if you use Beer Garden,
there's only four of us. It's got to be close to alphabetical when there's only four.
Wait,
well, hey, listen, Luke, I like to make things complicated.
Before we pick, can we talk about, I know you said you like fucking whip this up in like 20 minutes. Like, I'm curious, like with Luke and Janice, like if they did anything extra to like get their big board like set up. Like, can we talk about that for a second before we pick?
Absolutely. It's your show, Jim. What's up?
Crack him. But
he's got the number one pick. So this is
he's gonna waste his time. All right, go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
how did you decide which ones you're picking? Like, I thought we could discuss this like while we're picking it. Like you can say, hey, I like this because of this, or but like what was
there's so much.
It took me 2 hours. It didn't take me 20 minutes. So it was like that's 120 minutes. But like I but I had a good idea of where I was going.
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. Like I've had like I post pictures of beer. Like I'm sure you've all seen it like constantly. And so I literally have a folder in my phone, like over 1,000 pictures of beer. So it's just like, it was just scrolling through like, oh, what do I got here? And then, but like going to the, like Benny's and my new place, Beer on the Wall, man, you can get single beers and like
Beer on the Wall is.
Yeah, there's one in Park Ridge.
Yes.
So I go to the one in Arlington Heights, like, which is awesome. Like just like $3-4 a beer. It's great. So like I could just get like constant amount of beers, and it's ridiculous. But Luke, you were talking about this yesterday, what you went through.
Yeah, I don't remember talking about that.
Oh, you don't?
You drink it. Did you have an edible before we got in here too, Luke?
No, I did not.
Damn it.
I'm trying to think about. I think the conversation went with Jim, kind of share the story, and he said, "Do we want to talk about this right now, or should we save it for the show?"
Yeah,
that's
exactly how it went.
That's as far as it went. I don't think I went beyond that.
Yeah, because I wanted you to get into it for here.
Yeah, so you're saying save it for the show. So now the show is on, so we can talk about it. I had some go-to ones where I was like, all right, I gotta get these with some artwork because I know these are ones that I love their beer can art. And then I said, I'm gonna look specifically for some other good ones that I've never had before because the rule is you had to have drank it before. And I said, well, this is a good excuse to try a whole bunch of new shit. So the last 2 weeks, I was just shopping for beer cans that I thought that's a cool looking can.
Okay.
Have I had it? Have I had it before? No, but can I draft it now that I drank it? Hell yes.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
So that was my biggest strategy, was some go-tos that I knew I had already liked and liked their artwork, and then adding in a lot of new ones that, oh, I have to drink some more beers. I got to try some new shit. And that's a shame. So,
And we'll do like a list dump, Jim, after this is over. Because more than likely, first of all, this draft is so deep. Like I feel like it's gonna be very hard for anybody to actually double up. Somebody's gonna be like, oh my God, you took my thing, because art is so subjective as it is. Like, so I think it's kind of like I know what I'm looking for might be a little bit different than what you guys are looking for. So it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be fun.
I think what would be cool is when like someone brings up an obvious one, is like, they'll be like, oh, I had that one. And like, maybe if they had a different can from that brewery.
Yes. So Jim, you're 1 for 1, baby.
So
which 311 theme beer are you picking for number 1? That's what I want to know.
They do have some beers. Like, I haven't had them, but I really like to. But you have to ship them from across the country. It's like $35 for a 4-pack of beer. I was like, no, forget it. I mean, I'd love to try them, but no. But so if I'm good to draft the first beer, and I'm really happy that I get to, so probably on the big board of all of you, at least first or second, I got Pipeworks, and we got. Wait, hold on. Let me turn this off. Let me turn that shit off. All right. We got.
Oh, the Ninja Unicorn.
The classic Ninja versus Unicorn. I mean, you got to. And I'm gonna, because I've had this so many times, but I'm gonna take a drink of it right now.
Hell yeah! So Pipeworks is spoken for. Oh my God!
Yeah, that's.
I mean, they have so many. Hit. They got so many good ones, but to me, that's just like the classic. It's a ninja fighting a unicorn. I mean, come on.
Right, you can't go wrong with that. That's fucking awesome.
Right. No, that's a good 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good first pick. Yeah.
Definitely the first beer I had from Pipeworks. Like, somebody was like, you need to try this. And so I said, all right, I'll try it. So it's good. That's a good 1-1.
It's a really good beer too. Fantastic.
Janice, 2. What's up?
All right. So for my first round pick, I'm going to pick a brewery that I especially hold near and dear to my heart. And that's not just because the social media manager follows me on Twitter. So, I'm not exactly sure if one of the requirements is that you should be able to pronounce this beer. I have no idea how the hell to pronounce this beer. But I will be taking from Off Color.
Nice.
Okay.
I have no idea how to say it. Essentially here, we've got...
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
We've got like a bunch of dinosaurs surrounding a mouse toasting a marshmallow, which I think is pretty cool. Anything with dinosaurs, I am totally for.
Oh.
But yeah, this beer was really interesting. It's essentially their flagship beer, Dino S'mores, with a couple of like spicy adjuncts added into it. So besides, say, the typical cocoa, you've got guajillo, ancho, and cayenne peppers and molasses added into this beer. So it's essentially meant to be Dino S'mores with a little bit of spice to it.
Yeah. It's like a Mexican stout-ish.
Exactly. Exactly. So I was actually at my beer place yesterday, and the guy that I typically get my beer recommendations for, Jesus, he pronounced it for me, like butter, and now I'm just like, how the hell do I say this? I have no idea how the hell to say this. Wow. But anyway, yeah, just a bunch of dinosaurs surrounding a fire, like in my mind, just like so fucking cool.
So that's a really good choice, because I've had like several of the other ones, like beer for tacos, beer for pizza. Like they have some really good like artwork there.
Yeah, I love their artwork. It's also very cute. Like, it's super cutesy, but still at the same time, just like, also too kind of makes you think. It's like, are these dinosaurs going to fuck this mouse up? Or are they gonna like get close to the fire? Like this artwork in particular is like making me think. There's also a meteor in the background here, so I don't know if maybe like these dinosaurs are about to I don't know, like meet the end of their existence. So there's like a lot going on here.
Yeah.
How was the beer? Like I haven't had that beer, but I've seen it.
I really liked it. So spicy beers, I really like in particular. This one I'm drinking right now is a spicy beer. It's actually like a Kung Pao stout. So it's like, what the hell is in here? Essentially, you've got like Sichuan peppers, chili powder, and peanuts. So it's especially kind of it's meant to kind of like mock Kung Pao chicken a little bit. But yeah, spice in beer is, in my opinion, is really great.
And usually,
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually as they warm up too, with the darks, like you start to get more of that flavor too, which is nice. That's something that's snobby too. Like, oh, let's let this warm up a little bit, then we'll start drinking it. You know, Luke, number 3, buddy.
All right, so this is not a local brewery beer, but you could buy it at any Binny's or a lot of other places. And it's a little bit more detailed. I'm going to go with Collective Arts.
Nice.
Ransack the Universe. So the story behind Collective Arts is they change their beer artwork every quarter with different artists. It's a brewery from Canada.
Okay.
So
yes.
I think it's Ontario. Let me look at the label.
I'm pretty sure they're from Toronto.
Wait, I got one here too.
I can't find it on the label. But anyways, they have so many, all their beers are completely different artwork every quarter. So here's this one from Ransack the Universe. It's a IPA, and it's just got a whole bunch of like tie-dye and wild crazy shit going on. Some Pink Floyd vibes to this one specifically. The artist's name is
that's the cool thing. They actually have the artwork on there that's like actually somebody like drew up, and because I know that because I got one fucking right here.
There you go.
It's the squirrel.
Now you're screwed.
But this one is Life in the Clouds, which is a double dried hop IPA.
I've got that one in my fridge. That was
really good beer.
Yeah.
Really good.
So here's one of the Collective Arts current designs from I got to say this guy's name because his Twitter handle's on here.
But it's actually brewed in Wisconsin. So, it's pretty
Wanakee,
local.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's pretty local. I mean,
the artist
Wisconsin, but it's local.
Is Chris Solch. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And his Twitter handle is @Solczy, SOLCZY. But this was my favorite can from the 4-pack from Ransack the Universe. This one, again, even all 4 cans in the 4-pack are different.
Every one.
Yeah.
So like this one, same 4-pack. I don't know what the hell this is.
I think it's Jar Jar Binks.
Sure. It's amazing.
I don't know. It's like a life mask for Jar Jar Binks.
It looks cool as hell, though.
Yeah, no, that's different.
So this is James Mankiewicz, like Doug Minkiewicz. I can't believe I had to say that guy's name on this show. So his Twitter handle is @James_MANKIEWICZ. So those are both from this 4-pack of Collective Arts. So that's my number 1 pick. Check them out. Every quarter they change all their beers. There was one specifically I was looking for, and I hope like guys like Mailman Jack are listening to this.
They are. Jack has been posting.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a beer with designs. It's called Audiovisual Lager. You can't find it anywhere, but it was on their list of beers from their brewery. So Audiovisual Lager is essentially like they find featured artists and they want their album art on the beer cans, and then it gives the artists, the musicians, like a push to try to promote them a little bit more. It's really cool. I don't know if that's the full story. I kind of made that up a little bit as I went along, but I'm going to roll with that. So
I'm gonna tell K-Fizz to go fuck himself live because he told me I am the Jar Jar Binks from the 108, and I don't like that. That is not a very nice thing to say, K-Fizz. So yeah, you can go fuck yourself, K-Fizz. Now I knew this was probably gonna happen, so. You guys have picked nothing that I would have picked. The only one that I had Pipeworks, and I liked Pineapple Guppy. That was one of my favorite cans. I like that look.
You know, I'm
it's a
surprised
fun
you didn't get the blood unicorn or
Yeah,
something like that. Like
yeah.
those are good ones.
Pineapple Guppy, yeah, you can get at the ballpark.
Yeah.
So
That's one of my go-tos at the ballpark, actually.
Same here.
Yeah, they're lighter one.
So that was my only Pipeworks.
I'm pretty sure that the last game that I was at, I'm pretty sure I had a Pineapple Guppy that I spilled on the woman that was sitting right in front of me after, I think it was Jose Abreu hit a home run. I stood up and I just spilled like the whole 16 ounces on her back. They were not, I was like completely apologetic, but man, she was not happy.
Your poor wife, and she's still with you,
Yeah, I know, right?
Did not outget your coverage though, Jim.
You know what? Actually, I think she was like went up to the bathroom or something. So I think I did that by myself. So.
All right, so I'm gonna try the first share of the screen. Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. I don't know. Can you see that? Can we see that or no?
No.
Oh, all right. There we go.
There it is.
There you go. Screen sharing.
There we go.
Okay. So that is my share. That is my first pick.
There it is.
Taking Zombie Dust from Three Floyds. Now, I love Skulls. I love Skulls. I love hoppy beer.
Yep.
And another part I thought we could do too, and we'll get to it later, is beer logos. But that skull wing logo from Three Floyds is unreal. And a lot of times, like this is the original one. They've changed it up a little bit for the cans, but this is still
the cans are not with the red on there. It's not as good.
This is just so. This is my first pick. I'm gonna stop the share so I can get the next one ready. That's my first pick. It's Three Floyds. Now,
wait, so here I had it ready. So here you go.
Okay, so you were gonna use it too. That's awesome.
Yeah, if I got the chance, I got to be prepared. You know.
Now here's my second one, and you guys are all gonna moan at the same time. So just get ready for it.
No.
I don't know.
Get ready for it. Budweiser beer, baby.
Yes.
And this is something that like I put in my head, in my brain for this is I want to pick something that is just iconic. And I feel like the Budweiser logo that we used for this show, I ended up using it for this, is just so damn iconic that it has to be a first round pick.
You're just trying to appeal to the people.
I'm not. I'm really not. Yeah. I really like it. Like I feel like if I was going like more hipster vibe, I could have picked a totally different beer. I'm picking something that's just so mainstream, but yeah, it's just. I'm just a damn good logo. And on the original can, I hate the beer. Budweiser Bud Heavy is awful, but the can looks beautiful, especially the old retro logo. I thought it was great. So right now we got that was my two. We're going back to Luke. Luke, your next pick.
Okay. Gosh, I've got two that I'm decided between. I'm sorry, I'm making Rob Manfred really stressful here because I'm kind of on the clock. And I don't want to pull a Ryan Pace and draft up for Mitch Trubisky at the same time.
Oh, look at you. Look at you dropping nugs. Look at you.
This is a big risk.
Come on, just get on with it already.
Do it, Luke. Just do it.
Come on, you should. It's a second pick. Jesus Christ, you should be ready to go.
I'm going because I'm passing on a pick to go for a different one. So this is a reach because I'm going to pass on one. It's probably going to be off the board on my next pick, but whatever. I'm going with Spiteful Brewing's Mrs. O'Leary's chocolate milk stout
with the fucking cow.
Yeah, man. So you've got.
Yeah, I've had that. Yep,
Chicago Fire.
That's good.
You got Mrs. O'Leary. It's a delicious chocolate milk stout.
That's a good
there's Mrs. O'Leary just
milking that cow.
doing her thing. You know,
it's kicking over the fucking lantern there.
Yeah, I mean,
I know too much about these beers.
By the way, Spiteful Brewing's actual beer logo is
their logo's dope.
Yeah, is really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like where they have the diamonds, you know.
Like the
IPAs.
lager, they have some lagers and some other cans that are just like the straight.
You know which one is theirs is really good is the goddamn pigeon. That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it's a fucking great name too.
Janice.
So that was my reach.
Sorry, Luke.
No, that was my reach.
Janice, what's next for you? What's your second pick?
All right. So in the second round, from Half Acre, I will be taking Big Hugs.
Now that's awesome.
So this one, I know that there's
they
two.
They do a different one every year, right?
Yeah. Yep. There's like another variant on the Big Hugs can. So this one, you just have this like kind of like trippy looking cat here.
Yeah.
Right here. Like, oh, there's that same cat kind of chilling right there.
10%. That's a solid beer right there.
Yeah, Big Hugs is really good.
So this beer I actually had last night. Like you were asking earlier in my Sock Summer, you were asking earlier, like what were you doing last night? And I was like, I was drinking this beer last night.
Nice.
Essentially what it is. But yeah, Half Acre. Yeah, definitely great Chicago brewery. I love everything they've done so far, but yeah, and anything that's a stout, I will absolutely gravitate towards. But yeah, this one in particular was absolutely delicious. So big fan of what Half Acre has done here. And also too, it's a black can.
No, yeah, black cans. I mean, come on. That's awesome.
Yeah, the black tops they're always like a classy look.
And you don't even know what kind of rat shit you're drinking off the top of that can, like because it's black and it's all mixed in.
It's exactly it's similar to like finding a black toilet in a bar or a club. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
You just don't know. It's like the unknown. Sox fans love the unknown. You know, that's something that I say all the time. Like if we don't know it, we're more than excited about it. But if we know about it, we're not too excited. Now I'm gonna share my screen real quick, Janice and Jim. I'm not gonna step on you. I also had Big Hugs, but this is from 2013, and it's a little bit different. It's still the same like cat theme, but this is the cat eating dinosaurs.
That one is great.
Like this might be right up your alley, Janice. Like you said, you love dinosaurs, and now you got cats, and the cat is eating the dinosaurs. This is just lovely. So yeah, that was one that I put, and that's like actually from 2013. I think that was the first time I had Big Hugs. Was that, and some guy had said, "Hey, you should try this," and so I did. So, all right, Jim, your second and third pick. You have the turnaround.
Okay, so just give me a second here. So
you were just giving Luke a hard time about not going Chris.
I know.
Now you're going to take a second.
I'm going to choose.
Okay. All right.
I know what I'm going to choose.
It's a bold strategy. We'll see if it pays off.
I know. I just want to get in on the Half Acre. So one of my top choices was Half Acre, and I had a beer. It was called Beer Hates Astronauts.
Yes.
And it might take me a second to find, or you guys could look it up on your own. But I really loved the artwork on that one, and it was like, I don't know, it was a beer. It looked like a horse, and it was hitting the astronaut, and he's bashing this the helmet of him, and I really love that one. And I had it maybe 3 years ago, and actually the newer artwork for that one might be cooler than the old one, But anyway, so I will cross Half Acre off my list. And I'm going to just jump right in before any of you can get into there. And here's going to be my choice here.
Your second pick.
My second pick. And we mentioned this before, and I love this because this is like just scream Chicago. And
yes. Oh, I knew someone was going to draft
I've never seen that.
some sort of Hot Butcher beer sometime soon. To see Hot Butcher go in the second round, I'm a little surprised though. I thought Hot Butcher would have gone in the first round, but
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
I just love that he's a square cut. He's drinking a beer. I mean, this is just screams everything Chicago.
it's
And
so Chicago.
he's got a mustache.
Exactly. I love that little pizza man. He's great.
That was my I reached for Mitch Trubisky and you took the Sean Watson kind of pick there.
Ooh.
And this
All right,
is
Jim,
this
number
is
3.
unopened. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to drink this one. So I got
What is it? Is it what kind of beer is it? Is it an IPA?
It's a Northeast. It's a hazy.
Okay, so it's a haze. All
yeah,
right.
it's a hazy IPA. It's delicious. Man,
Loaf
it's-
loves
it's-
the hazes. He's a big haze guy.
It's really good.
He loves Sketchbook or Sketchbook. He's a big Sketchbook guy.
yeah,
Love
they have good beers there.
We've drank a lot of that together.
Okay,
Back when it was legal, and it's not legal now. So.
let me. Okay, so I got Hot Butcher out.
Yep.
So my next one is I got it over here, and I'm gonna save these other ones because I know there's no way that you guys are gonna draft these ones.
It's gonna be hard to double up, I think. Yeah.
So I got Toppling Goliath.
Oh God, love Toppling Goliath.
They got great beers,
They
and
do.
my favorite artwork to them is Fire, Skulls, and Money.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good one.
great because I actually had a King Sue on my draft board, but that's a really fantastic can too.
At King's, that's a great beer, good can, but I don't know. It's Fire, Skulls, and Money.
I've
Come on.
got her on my arm, so right here.
Well, that's a solid pick, Jim. Now we're heading back to
Back 'em.
Janice, number 3.
All right. So for my number 3 pick, I am actually stepping outside the boundaries of the greater Chicagoland area.
Oh, boy.
And I am referring to a brewery that is located in my former residence of Madison, Wisconsin, a brewery called Carbon 4. This beer
Good one.
this beer is called Fantasy Factory.
Oh, you would.
And so let me show you the artwork here. It's essentially a
I
kid
know.
holding a desert eagle on top of a unicorn.
Man,
Yeah.
Right
you
here.
do have a style that you're into.
That was
A
on
lot
my
of cats. A lot of
that was
cats.
on my
You
list.
got it.
Janice, that was on my list.
It was like
Yep.
seriously, it was.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
God! All right.
I would show you, but I want to show you the other ones I got.
So I was
Don't show
going
'em
through
yet.
this, like, you're just being like, all right, so I'm gonna like have all these Wisconsin breweries on my list, and like all these other guys won't it won't even be on their radar. So Jim, I think that's awesome that it was on your list.
That one was 100%. That's a good beer too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think this brewery even distributes to Illinois, or at least I haven't seen any Carbon 4 beers in Illinois yet.
No.
It's a really just kind of simple, really easy drinking IPA. I haven't had it in a while actually. When I lived in Madison, I used to drink it all the time, just mainly because it was everywhere and the label's just cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
Exactly.
Luke, number 3.
All right, so Hot Butcher's off the board, so that's going to go into the Papa Shot over there.
Nice.
Wait, what was that?
I just completely missed trying to shoot at the Papa Shot.
Yeah, but what was the beer?
That was the Hot Butcher, the tavern.
That's the one you
It's
picked.
Oh, that's okay.
off the board. So I'm going to go with the one I'm currently drinking. I'm going with the West Coast Wizard. I don't know if you guys know this, but my sock Summer used to live on the West Coast.
It did. 7 years.
So here's the actual name. You got some cool palm trees and
Yeah.
the same vibe of palm trees and all that. There's the design, and like I feel like this would be like if my sock Summer retired and moved back to the West Coast and was like 75 years old and going down the street skateboarding, like my
Skateboard,
sock Summer
longboard,
could
yep.
be the West Coast Wizard.
Man, I could be. I could.
But
I mean, my beard's almost that gray already. So
There's also a little cool twist that I noticed when I was doing the beer art research. That's got to be an In-N-Out Burger bag that he's on the skateboard with.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right. So I
Yep.
mean, so I'm gonna go with the current beer I'm drinking because, like I said, my favorite beer is usually the beer I'm currently drinking. So I'm going with West Coast Wizard from Miskatonic.
Luke, are you you listen to Howard Stern at all?
No.
Are you a Howard Stern? Does anybody listen to Howard Stern? No. All right. Well, because I'm
Hey,
old.
hey, I used to with my dad back in like in the 90s.
Right.
When they had that shit on.
See, it's everybody's dad. But there's a guy on the show, Richard Christie, and that's he says this about everything. He's always like, "This is my favorite. That's my favorite." And then he'll see something else like, "That's my favorite. This is my favorite." Luke, that's you're Richard Christie. But the joke is lost amongst you young kids. Don't know anything about the Howard Stern, you know, and you should respect your elders. All right. So now I have the turnaround. I have a 3 and a 4. And I'm kind of shocked that you guys haven't picked this one yet. And I thought it would go quickly, and it did not. I'm just going to pull it up real quick.
Are we gonna moan and groan as soon as
Probably a little bit, a little bit. I thought this would have been gone immediately because, again, like the Budweiser, this is a very iconic logo and can. I mean, it's like the Sox hat of beer cans. It says something when you have this can in your hand and you're like, I'm drinking a Pabst Blue Ribbon. And it doesn't just say I'm cheap or this is the last resort. It's like I might crap myself later because I'm indulging in this, but it's also some hippie or not hippie. I'm sorry. It's some the hipster, very hipster-ish. You know, it's like, oh yeah, give me a Pabst and a Jameson. You know, so yeah, I had to pick Pabst. I feel like it's such a great logo and great can. Like it just had to be there. So
it's a good can. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
says like, I'm at a show at the Riviera and I have like a $20 budget for alcohol. So yeah.
And maybe you're bound up and like you have to poop, so you're like, I'll get this one.
You don't want to pay $20 for the daisy cutter there.
No. All right, I'm pulling up my next one now, and it's something that it was a last minute addition for me. I'm going to use Surly as a brewer, although it is a collab. And it was a very, very, very good beer when it was around, and it might still be around. But Blacker, it's an Imperial Black Ale. Ooh, and nice. It's the 3-headed, devil thing. And it's 3 Floyd, Surly, and Real Ale. When I think Real Ale is out of Texas. But this beer, when it came out, I mean, it's just,
that looks like a good try. I've never seen that one.
So it was out, oh God, I want to say 2014, 2013. Okay. And just I think you could only get it in bottles around here. And then all of a sudden they had cans, they had tall boy cans, and it is, I love that logo. And it's just like and then every time I see Blacker, I just think of it Blackened by Metallica. So it's like it's in my head already. And I don't even like Metallica, but like I hear that song. So that's my 4th pick. So I got the PBR and the Blacker. Now, Luke, your 4th pick.
All right, it's back to me. Okay. So I've got my lineup here. I know which one I'm going to take last if it's on the board still. So I'm going to leave that for the last pick.
Okay.
One that's still on the board, and it's in my local brewery power rankings. I'm going with Old Irving Beezer.
Nice.
So they make a ton of awesome beers, but the Beezer is
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's a guy.
Jim's got it too. All right.
No, mine's a triple.
Deep sea diving, like not a scuba diver.
It's like an old school.
It's a diver helmet.
Like Scooby Doo type.
Yeah.
One of their episodes.
He's underwater, deep sea diving, hanging out, doing his thing, and then when he blows the bubbles to get some, air, it spells out Beezer.
Wow. See, that's marketing genius right there.
Yeah. So like so there's a Beezer, there's a double Beezer, there's a triple Beezer, Old Irving.
This triple Beezer, it was really freaking good.
It's really.
If you like Beezer, you'll like triple Beezer.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
There is something that stood out to me on the label under the government warning artwork. Number 2 says consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to drive a car. So
it does. I heard that too.
If there's any people watching, or if there's any White Sox employees watching, please remember that. Man. And be responsible.
Tommy Barabee likes your choice, Luke. He said very
awesome.
Good choke.
Tommy's a man.
So Luke, I just got this one too. It's called Life's Blood. This is also
that's from Old Irving.
Yeah, Old Irving. It's a dark Bach lager. This was on my radar.
Nice.
So I think it's really cool to see like what you guys like have, and we're pretty similar.
Yeah, Janice, your 4th pick.
All right. For my 4th pick, honestly, like this brewery, all of their cans are so incredibly just whimsical and wonderful that it was really hard for me to pick just one. Mm-hmm. So, to remove Mars Brewing from the draft capabilities here, I would like to select Yakult. So Yakult is an American wild ale that has some lactose in it, as well as some fruity flavors. It is such a solid, just like lively kind of fruity beer. It's basically the inspiration for Yakult came from the Japanese yogurt Yakult. So that was very interesting to kind of see. But essentially here, if I just zoom in, you just like got these cutesy little strawberries. And look how happy they're
being cool.
Are.
Yeah,
exactly. They're being Yakult.
Mm-hmm.
So incredibly adorable, so incredibly awesome. But yeah, like I said before, Mars is one of my favorite breweries, just mainly because they're not afraid to innovate. They're not afraid to experiment. They've got so many things going on right now. They're even making CBD drinks.
Mm-hmm. I've had those actually.
Yeah, totally.
Tokyo Drift with the CBD in it. Yep.
Yeah, I love Tokyo Drift. I love all their CBD seltzers too.
And they're elixirs. Is it elixir? Right? Isn't that what they call it too? Like it's called an elixir, or there's like a hibiscus.
Exactly, like a CBD elixir. So one of them I've been meaning to try is the Denali's Winter Wildflower, which is a recipe that was made up by a drag queen from Chicago, Denali. Okay. She submitted this recipe to Mars, and they made a CBD elixir for her. So that was really fantastic to see. Love what Mars is doing. Just like love that brewery in general. But yeah, always love just like cute strawberry illustrations. I love cutesy type shit when it comes to my beer can art. So there you go. Yeah, cool. Is my 4th pick.
Do you take CBD, Janice?
I do. Yeah.
I do too, and I like it. And I've used to take, I think, a lot of ibuprofen, and I think it's really helped. I mean, once you get it's gone on, right? And I think what showed me like was the Tokyo Drift CBD that Mars did. I drank one after a workout, and like I was like, I'm not hurting. I'm not. It was like, this is insane. So I was like, I bought in immediately, and so I've been buying it from this like Hive Chai Hive or something like that in the city. They're a juice bar, but then they also make their own CBD oil. So it's really good. I like it. It's like $75 a bottle. It's really nice. Jim, you got your 4th and then your final 5th pick.
Oh my God. I don't even know.
And let's see if we can get 2 more hat changes in before you get this done. Let's see if we can make it happen. I was like, did he change his hat? I think he changed his hat. And then you changed it again. And I was like, okay, he definitely changed his hat. Okay.
What about the background though?
I love the background. And I honestly, I went to Media Day when they first opened it in 2019.
Right.
And it was not done. And I was looking at this. I was like, how are they going to finish this in like 5 days? And they finished it, and it looks cool. And it's like I can't wait to get back.
Yeah, I mean, I went. You know, when we met, that you're one of the only guys that we met like in the ballpark. It's a nice space over there.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
it's a cool place.
So here's my second to last choice, and this is, I'm sure you guys have seen these artworks from the breweries. Illuminated Brew Works. Hold on, let me get this off so
Yeah, it's a
we
good
can
one.
be
So
clear.
much. Love them, Illuminated Brew Works.
Yeah, they got some good stuff. And so this is Dagger Flute.
Oh, that's dope.
And I love this one because
Yeah.
the Dagger Flute,
That's so cool.
for some of you that maybe don't know, this is back in the Power Ranger days. I mean, you could take a screenshot of that, and that was when the Green Ranger gets the Dragon Zord. He calls for the Dragon Zord. I mean, so we looked it up.
And Gene Simmons.
Yeah, we looked it up. Okay, we were like, what the fuck is Gene Simmons on this, like with the Dragon Flute? And apparently he's a big Power Rangers fan.
Huh.
And they had that movie a couple of years ago. And I don't know if it like that's the reason they did it, but yeah. Gene Simmons went to their premiere for the movie a couple years ago.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's like why they did it, but I mean, it makes sense to me.
Oh, and he's cool looking. So, all right. This is a big one. I'm sure you got a ton of stuff there, but you got to pick one. You got to pick one, Jim.
Hold on. Let me see.
Oh, boy.
What do I got? What do I got in here?
Look at this guy with his props. Love it.
God, yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. You guys.
That's also one of my favorite socks, hats of all time, by the way. That did that curly C.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good logo. And they just released one that's black and white and gray too. I think.
Yeah.
They just did like a special
I've seen
release.
that version of the hat. I love it.
Okay, so here's my last choice, and it is from Solemn Oath out of Naperville.
Son of a bitch.
And there's I mean, it really was a hard choice. These two that I had, and one of them was Wolved by Vikings, and the other one's Resurrected by Vikings. And I think my favorite is the Resurrected by Vikings. Because you got a whole thing going on here.
That's so good. That's a gorgeous can.
They've really stepped it up because when I remember really buying their stuff, it wasn't like that. And the one that I picked from them, I'll pull it up real quick, is a little bit different. Like, but because this is how all their beers used to look. They just had like a thing, and this is Ravaged by Vikings.
Yeah, they apparently the Vikings is like a whole series that they have going on.
This is the one that I liked.
Yeah.
They and it was just like a black label with this like white on top.
Pretty cool. That's a good. And you know what? They had even more like good looking ones, but like I don't know. I'm into the skulls and fire and sword.
Who isn't?
Typical,
and honestly, like I think that's kind of a lot of the guys that brew beer are very into heavy metal, and that's kind of the thing. So like, I mean, I don't get down with Slayer very much, but I'm not opposed to it. But it's just not something that I usually put on. Janice, final pick.
My final pick is going to be, I'm going to crack it right now, actually. It is a collaboration between Pipeworks Brewing and Hacienda, located in Milwaukee.
Nice.
This is a beer called Sunday Sauce. It's essentially kind of a Sunday stout. It's got cherries, vanilla, lactose, cacao nibs, and pecan flavors. But essentially, you've got like some holographic elements to this as well. So if I move this here, also too, there's a skull eating a sundae too. So perhaps like one of my goals in life is to be dead, but still eating some ice cream. I love ice cream.
So wait, my question is, who is this brewery?
Hacienda.
So in collaboration with Hacienda, who's the main brewery on that?
Well, we said that you could decide who you wanted to be from.
Is that I thought it was the main one that is listed on there.
Oh, I thought I'm pretty sure we said the person picking decides who the collaboration is from.
Okay.
And I haven't had a drink tonight. So maybe I remember, but I think we're going to allow that. I'm going to have to allow it.
But hey, I do have another Hacienda, like if there's any objections. I know Pipeworks has been taken already, but Hacienda is another fantastic brewery out of Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, huh? I haven't heard of them.
So, they're on Milwaukee's north side, which might not mean a lot to anyone who's listening, but it's essentially another great up-and-coming brewery in Milwaukee right now. But this can is just so cool. Look at like kind of like the holographic features of it.
Yeah. You got all sorts of stuff going on there. Skulls.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
So I highly recommend this beer too. I've had it before. I picked it up just mainly because like I think this beer is delicious, and I also wanted to show it off to you guys too.
No, it's very cool.
Yeah, but Hacienda in general has some like really fantastic art as well. They also do a really fantastic brunch too. So if you're ever in Milwaukee and you just happen to like need some hangover food, stop at the Hacienda on North Avenue. I haven't been to Milwaukee in like months, so I don't know how factual that is, but I'm pretty sure Hacienda is still serving some good brunch though.
Yeah. All right, Luke.
All right, last one, right?
Last one.
So before I draft this pick, are we doing like a undrafted free agents list of picks after?
Yeah, we'll do a list. We'll do a list dump. That's very 108. We always
perfect.
Do a list dump. That looks delicious, Janice.
That makes this pick a lot easier. That does look really fucking good. I'm gonna close it out for me with Great Lakes Brewing Burning River Pale Ale.
That's a good
from Cleveland, Ohio. If you look, it's the river in Cleveland, Cuyahoga River, right?
Yeah.
Let's go with that. It's on fire. Back in the 60s or whatever, the river got on fire. And there's some history with that in the city of Cleveland. So Great Lakes Brewing made
it was so polluted that the river caught on fire. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a history guy. I just kind of know that that's part of what happened with the river, and they made a can out of it. And I saw this. This is one of the ones when I was looking, I was like, I've never had that beer before, but I'm going to put this on my list. And I don't have a good sales pitch here, but look at the can, guys. I mean, it's an awesome looking can.
K-Fid's giving you crap too. So Luke, K-Fid's just said that's a fantastic story, Luke. So you might want to tell him to GFY if you want to. Tommy also liked your pick again, Luke. And Mailman Jack says you're schooling everyone. So
I got Mailman Jack's vote. That's all that matters, because he can vote for 7 people. So
Mailman Jack came over and picked up 3 records from me, or 4 or 5. I can't remember how many records I had. And he was like, "Can I buy?" Or I posted it and I said, "Hey, do you want these?" And he's like, "Yeah, I would love those." So he came over and picked them up. He was driving a blue Miata convertible, and it was in December. It was freezing cold, and he was wearing shorts. So the guy is a whole fun story. Mailman Jack, and he's very into music, very into beers, very into a lot of stuff. He's a fun time. So
He's awesome. He's one of my favorite White Sox Twitter follows.
Yeah,
Same
he's
here.
good.
Jack's pretty cool.
So I am going to go with something, and it was probably one of the more recent logos that I saw that I really, really liked. And it just, when I was trying to go through my brain of things that I really, really liked, 18th Street Brewery was like, came up right away because they have some pretty wicked stuff. So I picked this one as my favorite, and hopefully
they got some good ones. I had a lot of them.
Yeah, the Hunter, the
Wow.
the
That's
double
so
milk
good.
stout, and you got your snakes, you got your Illuminati eye, and speaking of just unbelievably awesome logos, that 18th Street Brewery logo is just dope. So I haven't been there since my guy, one of the guys that hangs out in the 108 with us a lot. Oh shit, now I'm blanking on his name. Mike Turnipseed. He was in a documentary, and he surfs Lake Michigan in the winter. And they made a documentary about these guys, and I went down to Gary to watch them premiere the documentary, and we went to 18th Street afterwards. That was the last time I was there, and last time I had a coffee hunter. So this unbelievably great artwork, good stuff.
Yeah,
so
no,
now,
they got some really good stuff. I had them on my list of villain and psychedelic lines.
yes,
that they got some really good designs on their beer cans.
So I'm just gonna go. Let's see here. I don't know how we should do this. You guys have all your stuff there. So I'm just gonna go first. And I'll just say what I have. I had, because I don't know if I can change stuff while it's on, but let's see. Let's see if I can do it. Shit. This one's from Milwaukee. One of the favorite places. Oh, mute him.
What are you talking about?
I'm just going here. This beer. I'm getting it. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Velveteen Habit from Ale Asylum.
Yes.
It's like an upside down little bomb.
That's so Madison. I love it.
When I saw this can, I was like, I gotta try this. And then I saw what it was. I was like, oh, I'm definitely buying this. So Velveteen Habit, that's
Big
one.
fan of Velveteen Habit.
Yeah, that's a good beer.
This one, our old Baderbrau Chicago Pills. That's just Chicago to me. Like I just love this. I love this logo. I love the whole logo. I love the whole label. Budweiser we already did. Big Hogs we went into. Pabst Blue Ribbon. The Pineapple Guppy from Pipeworks. Snook Bite is actually from down from Point Ebel, which is down in Florida. My in-laws bring it back for me all the time, and I just like that logo. It reminds me of the Pineapple Guppy actually too. So Ravaged by Vikings, and I think
you see, you had the Solemn Oath one, man.
I think that's it. That's all I had going. Yeah. So I don't think I have any more.
So my cool thing.
I did have a couple more, like Todd the Axeman. From Surly.
That was on my list. Fucking. That was on my third tier.
No, like, have you guys seen the Terrapin, the Liquid Bliss? It's like a peanut butter jar, and it's the little turtle like doing yoga and like meditating. Like I love that shit. Like those are fun. And they also do a Chopsecutioner, which is their Hopsecutioner, but they brew it for the Braves. And I have one of those bobbleheads, and it's just like the turtle, but dressed up as like a Atlanta Brave. This is pretty cool.
So here's a cool one. Like we had the
Jim, you want to dump your list?
Yeah, I got a fucking big ass list.
Okay.
So the cool thing is, like, here, I'll fucking show you. Here's my list. God damn it. I gotta
Can't do it.
Can't do it. I gotta turn my shit off. Okay. So all my picks were on my top tier
my lord
list.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. See, wait. Janice, you said carbon 4.
Fantasy Factory.
Yep,
oh my God,
I love that beer can. And I didn't even have to get into 18th Street or Tighthead Irie, Old Irving, Triple Beezer, which actually where I got that one? Hold on.
You showed us that one.
I got so much fucking beer here. Oh yeah, I did show you the one with it looks like a Halloween picture here. 1090. I got the Angry Dragon here.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a good one. I showed you my fucking squirrel. One of my favorites that like, and it's really surprising is Revolution. Like, didn't get any love here, you know, and the new cans. It's not the same that it used to be. You know, they have that little strip on the top of their cans, but I love the old school anti-hero. You know, this is a tall boy, and this was on my list. I love the old school look, and now they got that stupid fucking strip along the top.
Yeah,
I don't know why they do that.
Like Revolution reminds me of like just like moving back to Chicago.
Yeah.
So I will always have Revolution near and dear to my heart.
We had there was a beer stand over by the 108. I think it was in like 113, and they used to do 24-ounce Revolution IPA, the anti-hero IPAs for $12. So you could get like, I mean, that was just the insanity. Like they didn't know what they had, and they had to stop doing it. And then the next year they only did 16-ounce pours for $12. But like, man, that 24-ounce for $12 was just the best deal in the damn park, because you would be hammered after you had two of them. You'd have a nice buzz going. So, Jim, what else you got?
I mean, I could keep going on. Should I just?
Well, just throw out. Give us your top 4 of the ones you didn't name. If you have like 100, I don't want to hear 100 names. No.
Okay.
But if you have like 4 or 5, yeah, let's do it.
You know,
like another hat, maybe a hat change, and then do some more.
Wait, hold on. This one, it's got the mesh back. Okay,
Love those.
So that's a different hat.
My favorite.
Wild Onion, Misfit. That's a good one. That's one up here in the northwest suburbs. I don't have it here. I got it somewhere, but not here. Wait, let's see. You know what is like a big one? Like I wanted to have, but a lot of these artworks they change their style, and like I don't like it as much. And you might know it, Dale's Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Oscar Blues.
Yeah, Oscar Blues. Yeah. Their old style is phenomenal. I love that one. And it's not the same. They changed it up a little bit. I like their old style better.
Oscar Blues does like a coconut stout every year too. That's
Oscar
really good,
Blues, right? For a while there was a like national beer mile competition, like to set the world record in the beer mile, and Oscar Blues was the official sponsor.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
You had to chug the Oscar Blues beer in between each lap of the beer mile. So
and I got other ones, but nothing that interesting. So
all right. Well, thanks for wasting our time.
Yeah,
all right,
no problem.
Janice, you got a drop?
Yes, I've got a couple of other ones too that I didn't draft. So this one is from a brewery called Humble Forager out of St. Paul, Minnesota.
Interesting.
So here you've got just like this really gorgeous watercolor kind of. This beer was also really great too. It's called the Sugar Shack Diaries. It's a maple mocha stout.
Oh damn!
Maple syrup, vanilla beans, cocoa nibs, and coffee beans. So the ABV on this is not published on the cans, but I would imagine it's pretty high. But other than that, like this can is so gorgeous.
It's dope. Yeah.
Hey.
Let's see this pour. Oh my God, it's all foam. God, Jim.
I don't know what happened. I just fucking opened.
It's probably overcarved. What else you got, Janice?
I have to share this other one too. This is from Hoof-Hearted Brewing. And where is this brewery from? It's from North Haven, Connecticut. But it's essentially a sour triple IPA with mango, kiwi, vanilla, and lactose.
Jesus.
So I thought the art was pretty hilarious.
I think
the
I
Iron
saw
Sheik
that.
Giving the camel clutch to Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I saw that. I saw that beer at Beer on the Wall. I saw that over there.
Yes. So yeah, it is available in Illinois. It's called the Combat Spandex. So
That's
I
dope.
think just like based on this art alone, I bought it. It's a pretty fantastic beer too. So I highly recommend it.
Anything with the Iron Sheik and a camel clutch to Hollywood Hulk Hogan is amazing. I'm sure Ken W.O. will love it because he is obsessed with the Iron Sheik and he's determined to get.
He will drink that though, unless it's fruity. So maybe he will because he likes fruity beers. He likes his Bud Light Lime.
Yeah.
This one is from Liquid Love, and so Jim is a little familiar with Liquid Love. So it's called Coffee. The Coffee. So it's basically a milk stout. It's got some cacao nibs, vanilla, milk sugar, and Smuggler's Coffee, which I'm assuming is a local roastery around here. But love this beer. I drank it before we met tonight. I really enjoyed it. Love myself some coffee stouts.
I do too. I mean, seriously, we have the same tastes when it comes down to that. Yeah, stouts. I have a stout body, but you don't. But I do. And then also the coffee. I love the coffees.
I like a really good stout, but not. I like an imperial stout better than like some of those, bland ones. It to me it just kind of tastes like a shitty coffee, and I like imperial stout much better.
Yeah.
To share this one that I was drinking earlier, it's 11%. It's by Stillwater Artisanal, which is on the East Coast. So it's basically Kung Pao. It's got some Sichuan peppers, salt, peanut extract, some ginger in it too. So it's basically meant to kind of emulate Kung Pao chicken, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So again, another fantastic beer. It actually came packaged in like a takeout container, which I thought was really cool.
All these kids.
Yeah, exactly. Another cool can, basically a really nice undrafted free agent right here.
Nice.
11% too. Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ. Anything else, or is that it? I think Janice is done. Luke.
I'm done.
All right.
Drop them.
Okay.
And then throw them behind you and try to get them in the Papa Shop.
I will do that for every single one now that you mention it.
All right.
It's kind of a no-look shot, but it's not really because you can see it behind me, but it'll make it a little more difficult.
No, there's no comments.
So it's
the chat
this is from New Belgium, the Voodoo Ranger series. I just tried this one today. Captain Dynamite. So it's a superhero robot looking dude. And his name apparently is Captain Dynamite. I tried it. It was a hazy beer. Usually I like a lot of hazy beers. I didn't like this one that much. So we'll throw that into the Papa Shot.
Let's see. Oh, that was close. That was close.
Oh, it was close.
All right, we're getting there.
The Misfit. No, not Misfit. Wild Onion Brewery. I gotta read the can to make sure I get the right brewery. Wild Onion, Crazy Fingers. So that's kind
dope. Yeah.
It's a Grateful Dead kind of little thing here, and the guy is playing the guitar, just jamming there, rocking.
Man, I like Wild Onion. My choice would have been
Your video
the
line.
Misfit.
That's what I said. Misfit. I did not mean to say Misfit. I meant to say Crazy Fingers, which is the one I'm here
What?
holding in my hand. So it was a good one. I've had it before. Mosaic hops are phenomenal. I think they're a great thing. But for an APA, it was like, okay, not bad. So not even close there on that one.
You're trying.
Have you had the Hop Slayer?
I have not had the Hop Slayer.
Oh, that's probably one of their best beers.
My Sock Summer mentioned this one last night on 108 Fest. I thought for sure you were going to draft something from here. Tight Heads.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Irie.
Yeah. Irie.
That's awesome.
My favorite wild animal is a lion. And the way that they did this, and it's like Jamaican themed and everything, unbelievable. Like they had a lot, like the Patrick Manley themed long snapper IPA.
Yeah,
you got a Bears player snapping a ball, like it's awesome.
I wrote a review about that beer.
How was your review?
I mean, it was a good beer.
Okay,
but he didn't like say anything back to me, so
fuck him. We'll see how this one goes.
It's a weird. I was saying in the podcast last night or the live show last night, like I didn't know that people knew who Tight Head was. Like I literally like it's just such a small. It was like so weird that it's in Sterling, Illinois at Kelly's, which is our Mexican Irish bar. So it's Mexican food, but it's an Irish bar, and they would have a keg of the Tight Head all the time, or not Tight Head, the Irie. So it just was nuts. He would just bring them back.
Yeah, they're up this way in Mundelein.
Yeah,
way northwest suburbs.
I like their boxcar porter. That was the last one that I had from them.
They have some good beers, and it just don't get out too far.
Yeah. What else you got, Luke?
So I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 more.
That sounds good.
4 more. So time. Another one that I did not have before until now was Church Street in Itasca, Brucifer. So it's got a whole bunch of crazy shit going on. So you got Lucifer there doing I don't know what, but there's a whole lot of different colors and the devil and like I don't know. I just saw this one. I was like, I'm going to try that. It looks like a great beer. And for a hazy 9% beer, it was a good beer. So we'll see how this goes here.
Yeah.
I missed. So this is one it was on my draft board a little bit higher up, but it's such a pot. Both breweries, it's a collab. Both breweries are very, very popular, especially with their artwork. So this is a Old Irving and Pipeworks collab. It's called Unicorn Park. And you've got a unicorn and you've got that scuba diver guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Riding the unicorn.
Beezer dude. Yeah.
And you got the Chicago skyline in the background. So it's like Montrose Park, but the Beezer dude and the unicorn all combined together. And it's just, I saw that and I had never had that beer before. It's a hazy double IPA with mosaic and cryo hops and lactose, vanilla, raspberries, and blueberries.
Nice.
So there's a shit ton going on with that.
A lot of stuff.
Normally when I see something like that, I'm like, yeah, I'll try it, but it's that's a lot of stuff going on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be way too much, but it was very good and smooth, and you could like easily taste all the flavors, and it was not overpowering at anything. It was really, really good the way they put all of those beers just kind of in there. Beers.
So they have a new one that I saw just today. It was what do they call it? The Lizard King versus the Cryo, and from Pipeworks, and this was the first time I've seen it today. So nice. Might be I didn't try it, but it's probably going to be one that we'll probably want to try to check out
someday, right? Yeah.
Soon.
All right, so I've got 2 more.
Maybe tomorrow.
Show offer.
I'm looking for this. Okay, I got it. I've got 2 more. So this one is from Buckle Down. I gotta help these local. it's local.
I love Buckle Down.
Buckle Down's like 10 minutes from me.
Yeah, I don't like their Oktoberfest, but I like their regular beer.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't like Oktoberfest. This is called Hooligan Soup. It's a English mild ale. And it's phenomenal. It's a brown mild ale.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all the English flag colors on there. You've got the soccer hooligan there with his megaphone. It just, if I was going to pick one from Buckle Down for this draft, it would have been that one.
I wonder if Nick Clark is probably going nuts over there. He's like, "Yeah, get me one of those." He'd be like, "Hey, can you pick one up for me?"
Nick,
So,
I'll give you one of them.
there
I
you
don't
go.
know where you live, but I'll take care of you. The last one that I have to mention, and this is essential. This is like the beer of all beer can art that I have to mention on the 108 draft. I'm going to call this one the Beef Loaf beer.
Ooh.
From Weiner Brewing, the Tub. So, I mean, you got the Tub, the
Right.
108 Sunday,
So good. Yeah. Wine
108 Sunday Soak.
Yup. We've had it.
You've got a guy in a tub
Yup.
that may or may not be beef loaf.
It's definitely beef loaf. It's definitely beef loaf.
And, he recently got a cat. So there's Loaf's cat in the tub, and he's just there chilling. And
Yeah, they have like 70,000 cats over there. It's like they're overrun by cats.
So Weiner Le Tub is what I will from now on refer to as the beef loaf beer.
What's it? What is that? It's a saison. What is it?
It's a wild farmhouse
ale. Yeah, I don't like the farmhouses all that much.
No, I didn't like it too much. It maybe tastes a little bit like beef loaf, but
How do you know what that tastes like?
I don't.
I don't even know what that tastes like, and I'm like, they're right next to them a lot. It's scary. Scary sometimes. Is that it, Luke? That's all you had?
We're good. Yeah.
All right. I had some that I wanted to pick, but I couldn't pick because their can art was horrible. And like the most important one that I was like, their can just sucks. But it's such a cool logo. It's like an icon. It's a Chicago thing. Old Style. Old Style has like the worst cans in the business. Like it has the coolest logo. It has been co-opted by so many different people, like in different bands and everything. And like even Three Floyds did like their version of the Old Style logo. And it's like, I can't pick it because that can is like, looks like a takeout food like thing, it's got all these weird drawings on it. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Favorite logos though, definitely Three Floyds and 18th Street. Those are my two top. Like, I don't wear beer clothing anymore. I only wear 108 stuff now. I've gotten to the point where we have produced enough merch that I only have to wear 108 stuff from the waist up. So that's all I wear. But my It's Not Normal hoodie with all the skulls from Three Floyds is definitely the one sweatshirt that I'll still rock it every once in a while. Good beers, bad labels. We've already kind of talked about it. New Glarus, like just horrible. Yeah. Like all their artwork is bad, and I know it's Deb, and I know it's the woman. It's her brewery. Her.
Yeah, she's the one that's like making all the artwork herself.
It's just so bad. Like, and it's.
Like, she does the artwork, and she's also on the master brewer herself.
Yes. Like she's like the first female like that runs a brewery or owns a brewery. Like it's just nuts. And New Glarus, we talked. It's like a good middle of the road, for the style, but their labels are just horrible, like just bad. So it's like they got like a clip art book like from like 4 years ago and they're still using it. So yeah.
Oh, that's strawberry rhubarb though. I would like I love the Wisconsin Belgian red, like especially on draft. If any of y'all are ever in Wisconsin and see the Belgian red ever on draft, like you just get it. Like it's so much better than to get it in the bottle.
Yeah. And those are funny. I don't know if you guys have been to Dark Lord Day. Has anybody gone to a Dark Lord Day?
No. I've never been there, but I've heard people. I know people that have went there.
So I haven't been since like 2004 15, I think was my last year, because my first daughter was supposed to be born the same weekend as the 2016, so I was like, I can't go. But the Wisconsin fruits do so good in the bottle shares, like at the event and during the event, and that's actually more of like what Dark Lord Day is about. Is it's just all the different beers that you try from different people. I don't know how this is going to happen, post COVID, because people aren't sharing things like they used to, and probably that won't happen as much as it would. But that was probably the coolest part about that stuff. So, but yeah. So, is there anything else that we want to talk about before we're done?
Do we want to do both non-beer, just White Sox?
What's up? Luke, I totally forgot about that. I was going to do that first thing. Luke asked me in their chat and said, hey, can we do a White Sox bowl prediction? And that's what we did last night. And actually, I don't even think I got mine in. And if I did, I was totally blacked out when I said it, because I got cut off because somebody was talking, because there was like 1,900 people on that screen. So go ahead, Luke. Your floor is yours. What's a crazy prediction for White Sox baseball?
Okay, I gotta get my notes again here because it's crazy.
Okay, you had to write it down. It's good. It's a good start.
It's controversial with White Sox Twitter. I'll say that.
All right.
Because it's Nick Madrigal related.
Oh no.
Okay.
The little guy. He's fun sized.
Yep. Yeah, the little guy. That's another beer that I did not have, the fun size from Pollyanna. But
I didn't know
really
that.
Nick
Madrigal themed beer, like something that's like 8 ounces, maybe.
It's in the sampler flights, the Nick Madrigal. So my bold prediction is Nick Madrigal, first day of spring training, he is walking up to the gates at the spring training facility, and he is greeted at the doors by Frank Thomas, but Frank Thomas is dressed as Morpheus from the Matrix. Okay, so Morpheus Frank Thomas is there, and he has the red and the blue pills in his hand, and he says the line from the Matrix, which I don't remember at this current point in time. Red pill, blue pill, Nick Madrigal. Which one are you going to take? So here's the bold prediction. I got a red pill Nick Madrigal prediction, and I got a blue pill Nick Madrigal prediction. The red pill, shout out to Josh Nelson here, because Josh Nelson last night said the White Sox are going to score 900 runs this year. So the red pill bold prediction is that Nick Madrigal is going to lead the league in runs scored this year. He's going to bat at the number 1 or number 2 spot in the lineup. He's going to lead the league in runs scored. He's going to be the biggest contributor to the 900 runs scored factor. Thanks to Frank Thomas Morpheus giving him the red pill and Nick Madrigal choosing the red pill. Now,
that's bold as fuck.
No shit. Jesus Christ.
If Nick Madrigal decides to go up to Frank Thomas Morpheus and take the blue pill is Nick Madrigal spazzing out on the base paths and sliding headfirst into first base, breaking his wrist, having a huge injury in the middle of the game. Steve Stone's on the broadcast and loses this shit and storms out Hawk Harrelson style and goes to the clubhouse, but does not do anything. He just stands there silently and does all Steve Stone things and says, well, Nick, you probably should never dive head first in the first base, because that's not a good idea and you could risk injury. Yeah, I know that now, Steve. I broke my fucking wrist, man. So then the blue pill leads us to the depth issue of Danny Mendick and Tim Beckham at second base. So we're either going to get Nick Madrigal leading the league in runs, or we're going to get the blue pill, broken wrist, Steve Stone episode, Hawk Harrelson style.
And I know he's out for the first couple weeks of spring training because he'll be recovering from his shoulder surgery still. So hopefully we get the first one. And that's a lot. That was a big choose your own adventure with little Nick Madrigal.
Some hungover thoughts this morning.
That's awesome. Janice, do you have a bold prediction for us for the Sox?
Yeah, probably the boldest I can think of, with as much recency bias as I can gather, is that Carlos Rodon will return completely healthy. With no extraneous health concerns, that he will regain his velocity, or maybe that's like too much. Maybe like the health prediction might be one bold prediction, but the fact that he would regain his velocity, I would like to see that.
Now, I don't know if, because Bob deleted it, but Bob Nightingale said you're going to platoon him with Liam Hendricks as closer. And like, I really hope that that's not what they're thinking they're going to do. Like, I really, because we've already heard Ashley Rodon say, my husband is not a closer. He can't do this. And now they're going to put him in as a platoon.
I think that was definitely from a parody account. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be used as a closer. And also, Bob Nightingale definitely drinking more than the four of us combined this evening, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
I think Bob might have gotten Carlos confused with Bruce Rondon. I think Bob needs to like check his baseball reference lookups. I think he's a little confused.
Yep, 100%. Now, Jim, did you think of any bold predictions? Because you said originally you didn't have one.
Yeah,
do you have one?
I don't have like a bold prediction. My main thing is always like, I always want the Sox to have pitching. Like, pitching for me is the number one thing. They're gonna hit. Like I have no doubt they're gonna be able to hit. I want them, especially when it gets into the playoffs. It's always about the hitter or the pitchers, and like that's it. I have nothing bold. That
my prediction is bold, and it's also about pitching. And I think by the end of the year, our fourth starter will be Garrett Crochet. Like, I think he will take over and pop into that role and just be lights out. And you know what? Who's not going to get a credit for it is Don Cooper. Don Cooper will not get any credit for it. This will endear Ethan Katz to the entire fan base that doesn't love him already, because they already do, because, he fixed Lucas Giolito 2 years ago. So, I mean,
I love him. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, everyone loves Ethan Katz, especially Rick Giolito talked about him and just loved him last night. I think Garrett Crochet has got the stuff. So hopefully he's going to be our solid number 4 starter. That probably puts Cease in the 5th, and hopefully or Cease in the 3rd. Who knows? Everyone stays healthy. You never know. But that's my prediction. And with that, that's our show, guys. I want to say thank you guys for coming on. Thanks for all the work, the hard work of drinking beers and going out and finding beers to do this. I know that it takes a lot. I appreciate this, and thanks for letting us broadcast it on the 108 YouTube account. We had about 50, 60 people in the room the whole time. So there was a lot of like back and forth, and K-Fids was just ripping on Beer Garden Jim the entire time. So
hey, tell K-Fids we'll see him at the after party, then he can really speak his mind.
He's in Vegas. He doesn't even come back this way.
No, he'll
you're doing your after party. That's right. Where can we go? Go to your account, and then
I'll tweet out a link in the next 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
We'll do a little Zoom after party. Everybody's welcome. Join in, chime in, all that shit. And it'll just be a fun little Zoom White Sox Twitter get together. So
all right.
Sounds good.
Check Twitter in 5-10 minutes, everybody.
Crack them. Right. Okay.
Okay. Take it easy, guys. Thanks again.
Awesome.
Have a good one.
Good shit.
Peace.